YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee, and welcome back to the channel. Thank y'all so much for tuning in once again. So I am back with another reaction video, of course. This time we have a woman who's complaining that men aren't approaching women anymore. We've seen this happen daily. We see women complaining about men not approaching, and they're wondering why. I'm gonna go ahead and play the video, and I'm gonna explain how we got here and why these women are not as oblivious as they portray themselves to be. So before we get into the video, make sure you are subscribed to the channel.
Donations.
It is free to subscribe, share, and like the video. Also hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos or go live. So I'm gonna stop talking. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Here we go.
Let me tell you what I have noticed. In the past about maybe 6 months, right? I've noticed that when I go out, men don't approach me. And when I mean go out, I mean if I'm at the grocery store, going out for a walk, getting dressed up and going somewhere, it doesn't matter. Men just have not been approaching me whatsoever. And at first, when I noticed it, I was like, okay, this is different because I'm just used to men coming up to me, right? I had to realize, okay, when I'm praying and I'm asking God for protection in all areas of my life, I totally feel like my dating life has his protection over it as well, right? When we know that a lot of these men just want to come in your life and waste your time. And if you're praying for a husband, if you're praying for your spouse, if you're praying for companionship, you have to realize that God is probably making you invisible to like 99% of these men.
Well, let me just chime in really quickly. This is the same woman who said that she had a good man who adored her and all this. Somehow it just felt like he wasn't the one for her. And so she walked away from that relationship. She said he was a good man, liked her, loved her, you know, was a good man all around, but she didn't feel in her spirit that he was the one for her. So she probably rejected him. And now she's to the point to where she's saying men aren't approaching her. Men aren't even looking at her twice. That says a lot about how women date and how they look over good men for something they think is much better, not realizing that they don't really have all of these options as they think they do, and that dating and relationships is not determined by the woman but determined by the men who choose to seek them out. So if men aren't approaching you and men aren't trying to date you and not even looking your way, then you're going to end up single, because that means they're not checking for you and they control relationships. You control access to your body. If you are a Christian and you are believing what she's saying, you believe that God is shielding you from these men who want to waste your time, you got to understand that there are Christian men out here too. And if you believe this is what's happening, you got to look at it from the other side as well, from the male perspective. Maybe God is shielding these men from these aggressive modern women, because if we're going to talk about God and the Bible and how relationships and marriage should be, then a lot of these women are going about it the wrong way. So if anything, God is speaking to that man and telling him, do not approach these women because these are not wives. I don't think these women think about what they're saying and think about that there's a other perspective to it. Women like to set a precedence or a narrative that fits them, but in actuality, it's not what it is. And if anything, God is protecting these men from these modern women. Let's continue.
I want these men to step to you because he already knows what it is before you even know. So now when I go out, I don't even expect men to come up to me, for real. Like, I really just go out and I just be going out for a good time, of course. And yeah, I don't expect it anymore because I totally feel God's covering over my life in that area to really shield me from all the BS, okay? Because it's so much of that out there. So from one woman of God to another, if you're feeling discouraged or you don't know what's going on, that's probably what's going on, sis. God is saving you for your husband and making you invisible to all these men who they don't want nothing from you. They just want to waste your time.
Well, and once again, like I said, it goes both ways. Christian men who believe in God and they're looking for their wives, he's shielding them from the modern women who do not align with God's values and shielding them. This is why they're not approaching these women. And these women will use any excuse they can to make it look good for them instead of accepting the fact that you probably miss your opportunities and you're very picky and you're not allowing God to pick for you. You're picking yourself. You're making the decision to pick the guys you want and the guys you don't want. And unfortunately, a lot of these women pick the wrong men, and you pick the wrong men and you waste their time, you waste your time, and then you end up by yourself anyway. So I hate when people like to bring God into it because they know good and well when they make decisions otherwise you're not letting God make these choices for you. You're making them yourself. God only comes into play when they want to make the narrative, look like it's working for them. When you know good and well these men aren't checking for y'all, because they're just not checking for you, because you're modern. A lot of these women are stuck in their ways. They think because they make more money, they're better than the average man. You're not looking for a man according to God. You're looking at a man to be 6 feet tall, 6 figures, 6 packs, and all of that. And when you can't find that, when you can't find the man that you want, when he's not checking for you, now you want to use God as an excuse to justify why men ain't checking for you. Let's just keep it 100. So when things aren't working, now you want to use God to just sit back. You can't do nothing else but go out and have a good time by yourself or with your girlfriends. Because if the men ain't checking for you, what you gonna do? You can't make them want you. You can't make them approach you. When they're not approaching, everybody want to use God, knowing good and well when you had the opportunities of men approaching you and men coming to you, nobody was thinking about God at that time. You weren't thinking about God. You was just, you had to pick of the litter and it wasn't good enough. Now you don't have that many options. And now God, you're sitting back waiting for God. And like I've seen in the past, those women who said they were waiting for God, they still waiting on for God now, and they 60 plus years old and they still waiting on God, and they still ain't got their man because they had the opportunity, they missed it. Now they old, and that's just a wrap. That's just my take on it. Listen, y'all, let me know what y'all think. Y'all chime in the comments, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think of this video. Do you agree with what she's saying, or do you think these women have just ran out of time and they ran out of options, and a lot of these men are looking elsewhere? So let me know what y'all think. Keep the conversation going. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this one, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.